Welcome everyone. Today is Wednesday, October 3rd, 10-3 on the seasonal wheel. This is the first week in October. So happy October everybody out there. Happy October and welcome to autumn. Happy autumn. October is a month when the leaves are changing colors and the wheel is certainly in spin as we move from today almost record high. I think it's of course the bank thermometers are a little higher. It said 91 degrees here in the upper Midwest on October 3rd, Wednesday. 91 degrees and the wind is a blustery 40 knots an hour. So if you're setting sail out there and on your course somewhere on your little boat, wherever you're at, travel 40 knots, going into a headwind of 40 knots is really something. So Mother Earth is really putting a display of her energy today. We're very grateful for the warmth and the great blue sky. And that will be a source of our sharing today, is a little bit of the nature. We're going to do some nature preservation and resonance, free floating, what we call shape shifting, if you will. Remembrance of a great saint who is Saint Francis of Assisi, whose celebration of his birthday is October 4th. So this whole week is a celebration of Saint Francis of Assisi, who is the patron saint of ecology and the environmental age. We're coming into and have been in the environmental age since Earth Day in 1971, April of 71. That was inspired by Saint Francis, who was doing all this stuff as the original hippie back in 1260 AD, high up in Assisi in the Italian Alps, and Alverna, and some other places. We'll touch into that as we go along today. This is kind of what you call a St. Francis Day, but more an environmental Earth Day. And so we think of it like going from Earth Day in the spring to Earth Day in the autumn. The autumn equinox, and the Earth Day in autumn is October 4th. That's St. Francis Day. So this will be our Earth Day, our autumnal Earth Day. So I welcome everyone and invite you to open up your heart today and just reach and breathe in deeply. So we let our hair down and we breathe in love and we breathe out peace. And we breathe in peace and we breathe out love. And we breathe in love and we breathe out peace. Isn't this beautiful? So let's try this in the Mayan language. In Lakesh, I am another yourself. Lakan, you are another myself. And we breathe deeply, this deep ecology day of Earth Day. In Lakesh, I am another yourself. Lakan, you are another myself. In Lakesh, I am another yourself. Lakan, you are another myself. In Lakesh, I am another yourself. Lakan, you are another myself. In Lakesh, Lakan. In Lakesh, Lakan. Lakan, in Lakesh. In Lakesh, Lakan. Marrakesh. Marrakesh. Yes. And may Beethoven and Mozart fill your heart with the beauty, joyous strings of their song, the compositions of their heart song, as well as the great artists of Italy, because we are infused with the spirit heart song of St. Francis, who is totally Italian. And the Italians have a deeper resonance for art and heart song than just about any peoples on earth, from Florence and Venice and Genoa, Turin, all the great places where art flourishes. And that is a great gratitude to all. So with that, we will go into the main course in a little bit. But we remember those who have passed along the way. So for any people who have lost a loved one in recent times, requiescat in pace. May the perpetual light shine upon you, and may they rest in eternal peace. And for anyone who's lost a loved one to overdose, our heart is with you, our love is with you, our love is surrounding you, and let us all together, we are all part of the community, and let us stop this dreadful addiction epidemic that is killing our young people, and not only our young people, but people of all ages, middle age, through this opiate addiction and this heroin addiction. And anyone who is a heroin dealer is now put on notice. That's now a life sentence in prison with no way out. If you're dealing drugs, if you're dealing heroin, if you're dealing meth, if you're dealing opiates, and that includes you medical doctors, if you're dealing it, if you're prescribing way too much of it, if you're dealing it, let's put you all in prison for the rest of your life with no parole. This is a demon seed that's going on around our people in our country. Black, yellow, red, and white. Doesn't matter what your color is. Doesn't matter if you live in the city or in the rural area. So we got to reestablish hope among our people, and let us all together rid ourselves of this addiction to heroin, meth, crack, cocaine, and opiates. All right? Each one of us reach out and love someone, whether they're in your physical midst or they're far away. Just take this moment of time, the sacred time we have together, and reach out and love someone in spirit or in situ, in this place. Either kindred spirit or a stranger at the door. The stranger at the door as well. The stranger is Jesus in disguise. And we don't know, we may entertain angels in disguise. Let us be aware, dear people. Let us be deeply aware and deeply grateful for the gift we have of this eternity, of this GreenFire hour, of this GreenFire hour of the golden eternity of this beautiful song called life. Life is precious and life is important. And let us underline that. And let us not let anyone slip or slide through the cracks. Each one of us have each other's back, all the way around the circle. Each one reach one. Each one teach one. Each one have each other's back all the way around the circle of the community circle. We're all in it together, people. No one of us gets out of here. We're all in this together. So drop the pretenses, drop the defenses, drop all the baggage, drop the scales from our eyelids so we can see clearly for the first time that each one of us truly is indeed each other's keeper and each other's sister and brother. We are all part of the community of man, the community of humanity. And let us stop and pause for wonder, for the gift of wonder in our lives. As little child feet, the gift of wonder is a play song, and that is essential. Delight and wonder and play are essential. Those are non-negotiable. As adults as well, play and wonder are non-negotiable. Delight is the third way. It's part of the Bodhisattva way. The Bodhisattva of St. Francis. Bodhisattva Francis of the third way. The third wave and the fourth wave. And the fifth and the sixth wave emerges in stellar ionization of the Bodhisattva mind of St. Francis. Breathe this in, dear friend. This is synergy. This is synergy. This GreenFire synergy flowing through all of us at this very sacred moment. Let us all jump in and be burned into a recognition of our true beauty through the heart song of the GreenFire, this GreenFire hour, and singing, "Hey, you'll do." Because truly, hey, you'll do. And we begin our heart song with a little song. This is dedicated to Nora, who's winging her way to heaven this very day. Requiescat in pace, dear beloved Nora. May the perpetual light shine upon you. May you rest in eternal peace. May love and comfort and succor surround your parents and your family, your aunts and uncles, your cousins, and your children, and the grandparents, and your community, and your neighbors, and the villages that you live. May the heart song of Wisconsin and Iowa come together and sing a song of remembrance and memorial to Nora, who has passed on this last week. And all who have passed on in the last week, whether natural causes or overdose or some other act of unkindness. So this is the song of loving kindness, to restore loving kindness for the least of these. So look out and see who's hurting, who's alone, who needs help. Let's send some loving kindness, not just send it out, but act on it. For the least of these. For the stranger at the door is no less than Jesus himself. Amen. And the Bodhisattva Francis, the Bodhisattva of the West, was the first clear mind, not the first, but one of the clear minds of the West who restored a love for nature in the heart song of his spirituality. He divorced himself from the power trappings of the wealth that he inherited from a father who was a fairly middle-class merchantman in Italy, and Francis had all the clothes and all the wealth that he ever really could have ever needed. And Francis threw it all away. He said, I don't want any of this stuff. I don't want any of your belongings, any of your inheritance, Father. And he got naked and he walked in the town square naked. Now that's your first original hippie, if I ever know one, as he walked naked in the town square, divorcing himself, divesting himself of all wealth and all trappings of the moneyed class. He was the first original hippie, and he had a marriage of holy poverty. Instead, he married holy poverty, and with holy poverty he lived his entire life. And he founded an order of brothers, of monks actually, of friars, Franciscan monks, friars, who worked in the world for peace, for doing good works, especially healing of leprosy, but also other diseases of the time, but also clothing for the poor, caring for those in prison, all the Beatitudes of the Sermon on the Mount. He perfected and lived in, and was the practice of the presence in his entire life, which is, some of them we know: clothe the naked, feed the hungry, visit those imprisoned, take care of the orphans, take care of the widows, visit those in hospitals, and provide shelter for those who are homeless. Those are the Beatitudes. Blessed are the peacemakers, and so on. But caring for those who have the least, and that's what we're talking about here. It's the birth of the time of St. Francis, the attitude of the Beatitude of St. Francis. Let it live in our heart song, being kind for the least of these, for giving to the others, our brothers and sisters, and looking out for their welfare before, and equally or before our own. Seeing them as desired friends and those deserving of our help in this lifetime, here in the living years. St. Francis has many, many facets in his mandala. Actually, in his mandorla, we could go in any vesica Pisces of the circle, or the flower, the spiral dance of the flower, the vesica Pisces of Francis. So he had a birth song, and he restored mirth on earth. I mean, St. Francis was a great, great soul. In the East, in the Hindu people, they don't really revere too many of the saints in the West, but in the East, St. Francis is given a high status as one of the bodhisattvas who was seen as a messiah among many people. He is given the highest of high reverence and veneration in the East, as well as he is in the West, and he needs to be more so as we begin to understand quite deeply in the deep ecology movement. St. Francis was the patron saint. He was literally, in the West, the beginner's mind of ecological awareness. And so he is like the Moses of the ecology, the environmental Earth Day movement. The Moses is Francis. So Francis is the Moses, call him the Messiah of the environmental ecological age. So we need to know a whole lot more about St. Francis and how he shared and gave away freely and gave from the heart. He didn't give with reservation. He gave unconditionally. He practiced unconditional love through his marriage to holy poverty, so he could give away. And that's what he did. He loved the Lord and served the Lord by giving away to his fellow man, those lesser than himself as far as physical poverty or physical health. St. Francis was right down there in the mix, standing with the least of these, those who needed it the most, singing Holy the Firm. And he used intuition and insight. He was very feminine in his masculinity. He was the first truly feminine, masculine saint of the male mystery, one of the very first. So we shall visit now. Come with me. Come with me as we walk into the mystery together, into the GreenFire, and visit Francis of Assisi. Put the sand back in San Francisco. Great blue sky. It's 91 degrees. It's October 3rd. Wind is out of the south at 40 knots. Wind is out of the south at 40 knots. A steady 40 knots, continuous, not a gust, continuous 40 knots. Not enough to blow your mind, but a Scirocco wind, still the same. Across the heartland prairie, clouds are glue-googly, some striated long lines, some puffy-headed, meddling and moseying nowhere in particular, mostly high, some white marbly sky. Note, not enough to deny the Ancient of Days. The wind steady at 40 knots, not enough to blow your mind, but a Scirocco wind's just the same. Across the heartland plains and prairie, clouds are glue-googly, some striated long lines, some puffy-headed, meddling and moseying nowhere. In particular, mostly high, some white marbly sky, not enough to deny the Ancient of Days. And we get a hold of this, and steer it thus far. And we get a hold of this and steer it thus far across the vast Indian upper Midwest sea with enthusiasm. With enthusiasm we sing, "It is well, it is well, it is well in my soul." Some kind of ecstasy got a hold on me, and I wonder where the lions are. And St. Francis walks into Echozoic with his love for birds and his amore rabia. He walks into, sits right down, and begins the entire environmental age with his love and rage, and the whole thing is ecstasy, with his divinized mind, of the loving kind, with his divinized mind of the loving kind, as he is wrapped with this ecstasy. He is wrapped with this ecstasy. With this, he follows his bliss and colors his age, stepping out of the black and white and into the blue, great blue sky, stepping out of the black and white, the king in the night, and all things futile. He puts into an empty grave and stomps on it, as it was sent from and came from the pit. This separation of man from nature and the whole original sin nomenclature and the whole ecclesiastical church and its guilt, shame, and sin, its inquisition against women and witches, and its war against nature, instilling hate in little kids at an early age, and its war against beauty, a war against beauty, a campaign to defile beauty. Beauty before me, beauty behind me, beauty above me, beauty below me, beauty beside me, beauty all way around me. Now I walk in beauty. And this war against the earth by the ecclesiastical church in its dominion over nature, in its inquisition, was a campaign to defile beauty in every ecosystem, in every watershed, in every airstream, in every sacred soil, in every bioregion, in every biosphere across the planet Earth, through colonization, then capitalization, then quantification through Mercator's grid and hectares and townships and sections and latitude and longitude and real estate and capitalism and property, this quantification, then commodification, commoditization and commodification of all 4,000 language types, all races, all peoples, all continents of Mother Earth were bound up in this octopus of greed and power, of capitalism and colonialization, colonialism, and the ecclesiastical church through the Inquisition. This was a total worldwide lobotomy, insanity in this war against nature, this original sin against earth. St. Francis is a global, worldwide insurrection through fierce, ruthless, unconditional love and rage and overthrow of all that. A revolution of love and rage is an evolution. It's time to reflect in our pool of wonder upon all that. In our pool of wonder, it's time to reflect upon all that. The mind, through compassion, of the cessation of suffering of all sentient beings. So this is cultivating the bodhisattva mind, which is the cessation of suffering of all sentient beings. This is a great blue sky. Francis is a great worldwide revolution. Francis is a great worldwide revolution against patriarchy and capitalism and property and the money class. Francis is blowing the Jericho walls down. Francis is blowing the Jericho walls down in an epistrophe of epiphanies, beyond the parentheses of the setting sun paradigm, beyond the parentheses and cacophony. His is a burning flame. St. Francis is a burning flame inside GreenFire. Francis is a burning flame inside GreenFire, outside the walls of empire. Outside the walls of empire. And Francis is watching the whole shithouse go up in flames. And Francis is outside the walls of empire. And Francis is watching the whole shithouse go up in flames. So we can see the autumnal equinox harvest full moon rise. He is watching the whole shithouse go up in flames so we can see the autumnal equinox harvest full moon rise. And yes, this is truly joy in the morning. the perfect joy of St. Francis. And yes, this is truly joy in the morning. Joy in the morning through this epiphany. This is joy of the journey. Through this epiphany is joy of the journey. And I wonder where the lions are. And I wonder where the lions are in this divinized starry night of holy delight. Dancing in the fields of the Lord. Dancing in the fields of the Lord. Dancing in the fields of the Lord. And Francis burning Zen Gulch green fire. And Francis burning Zen green fire gulch. And Francis burning Zen Gulch green fire lights a true desire. Lights a true desire in the heart of Western man. Francis lights a true desire in the heart of Western man. Singing, I can, is the Son of I am. I can, is the Son of I am. Let's reflect on this. I can, is the Son of I am. I am that I am. The Son of I am that I am is I can. I can is the Son of I am. I can. I can. I have the abilities. I have the commitment. I have the energy. I can. I have the ability. I have the confidence. I have the esteem. I have the attitude. I have the beatitude. I have gratitude. So I have the beatitude, so I have the gratitude. Put some latitude in my attitude to reach altitude, so I then can reach orbit and fly. I am, I can is the Son of I am. I begin everything with gratitude, singing, I can is the Son of I am. I have this ability. I activate this ability. I set the template through activation of this nobility, of this ability. I am the Son of I am. I can is the Son of I am. We are all the Son of I am. And the middle Saniam knows his name. High up in the Pacific Northwest, in Ish Nation and Cascadia, the middle Saniam knows his name. The middle Saniam knows his name in the Cathedral Emerald Temperate Rainforest. The middle Saniam knows his name in the Cathedral Emerald Temperate Rainforest. And Oz is the yellow brick road. And Oz is the yellow brick road of the Alvord Desert Oregon Trail Quest. And Oz is the yellow brick road of the Alvord Desert Oregon Trail Quest. And the 49ers looked for a heart of gold. And the 49ers looked for a heart of gold. And the 49ers looked for a heart of gold. Truly did find. And the true 49ers, looking for a heart of gold, truly did find Golden Gate. And the true 49ers, looking for a heart of gold, truly did find Golden Gate. Gate, gate, parasam gate. Gate, gate, parasam gate. gate parasamgate Bodhsvaha. And the 49ers, looking for a heart of gold, truly did find Golden Gate of Tamalpais Green Gulch Priory. They did find the Golden Gate of Tamalpais Green Gulch Priory, and ashram is hidden deep among camaldales in Carmel. And ashram is hidden deep among camaldales in Carmel, among big Sir redwoods of Esalen. And those looking for a heart of gold truly did find the Golden Gate of Tamalpais Green Gulch Priory. In the ashram, which is hidden deep among the camaldales in Carmel, of Novanada, and the dark night of the soul among the big Sir redwoods of Esalen. And Francis burned the whole house down in October. And Francis burned the whole house down in October. And Francis burned the whole house down in October with his holy marriage to voluntary poverty. With his holy marriage to voluntary poverty, Francis burned the whole house down in October. And with his voluntary poverty, holy marriage, and with this song of holy marriage, voluntary poverty, he sang it in dune buggy elegies to the deep out here in Carmel. He sang it in dune buggy elegies to the deep, ecstatic, ecotopia, ecozoic, deep ecology, mind. Ecstatic, ecotopia, ecozoic, deep Pacific ecology, deep mind, Zen bastard wizardry mind, Zazen, riprap, cold mountain mind, and all the little munchkins, and leprechauns come out wherever you are. And all the little munchkins and leprechauns come out wherever you are. And all the little munchkins and leprechauns come out wherever you are. And all the little munchkins and leprechauns come out wherever you are. And they come out as magic mushrooms, magic shrooms. And they come out as magic shrooms of mycolatry deep, miles an inch below the soil and miles of root structures wide. They come out as magic shrooms and play madrigals and consorts. And they play madrigals and consorts in forests of deep emerald green. And they play madrigals and consorts in forests of deep emerald green. And Merlin too. And Merlin too, and his beatific vision. And Merlin too, and his beatific vision of the magical Christian, of the madrigal child, and his beatific vision with Clare of Assisi, and his beatific vision of St. Francis, the pure joy in the morning of Francis, and his beatific vision with Clare of Assisi set the mountain huts ablaze. Set the mountain huts ablaze in the high Alps with a seraphic fire. 50 miles away in the deep alpine medieval sky, in the deep Alps medieval night sky of the deep. And St. Francis and Clare of Assisi set the mountain huts ablaze with seraphic fire 50 miles away in the deep Alp medieval night sky. Francis helped restore mirth on earth. Francis helped restore mirth on earth from a very glum and glower Western mind of the Roman Empire, of the Roman Christian Empire, both, of the glum and glower and control and power of the Western Empire Roman mind. And Francis helped restore mirth on earth in the Western mind and deep peace of the moon and the stars. And deep peace of the moon and stars he sung down to earth. And deep peace of the moon and stars he sung down to earth. And deep peace in the moon and stars he sung down to earth. Through brother sun and sister moon, Abun. Through brother sun and sister moon, Abun. And Michelangelo is here. And Michelangelo is here, sitting in the seraphic fire with Francis and Clare. And Michelangelo singing down the moon, and the deep peace of the moon and stars to you. Singing deep peace of the moon and stars to you. Deep peace of the moon and stars to you. And may you rise on eagle wings. And deep peace of the moon and stars to you. And may you rise on eagle's wings. And deep peace of the moon and stars to you. And may you rise on eagle wings. And deep peace of the moon and stars to you. Through brother sun and sister moon. Through brother sun and sister moon, Francis's paintings are in heart song. And Michelangelo's heart song, and the deep echologoi of nature, and the deep eagle language, and the deep fierce eagle fire vision of nature. And his paintings are in the heart song of Michelangelo in the deep echologoi of nature. In frescoes, murals, and alleluias. And Francis's paintings are in the heart song, are in Michelangelo heart song in the deep echologoi of nature. In frescoes, murals, and alleluias. It's time now to put the sand back in San Francisco. It's time now to put the sand back in San Francisco. Become holy modal bounders of the Golden Gate. By putting the sand back in San Francisco, we become holy modal bounders of the Golden Gate, earth firsters who do a circle peace walk around San Francisco, beginning at the Cliff House on Easter Sunday sunrise, as ceremony of your own heart song, singing the beauty way, beauty before me, beauty behind me, beauty above me, beauty below me, beauty beside me, beauty all way around me. Now I walk in beauty. This heart song is singing the beauty way. I am, God created me in the light and the love and the glory. I am, God created me in the light and the love and the glory. I am, God created me in the light and the love and the glory. I am, God created me in the light and the love and the glory. I am, God created me in the light and the love and the glory. We're all children of God, yes we are. 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 In the light and the love and the glory. In the light and the love and the glory. In the light and the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, and the glory, God created me. I am. God created me in the light, in the love, in the glory. Welcome home, dear one. Welcome home, dear one. Welcome home, dear one. We have, through the heart song of St. Francis, put the sand back in San Francisco. We have put the sand back in San Francisco through the gift and the joy in the morning of St. Francis. Ah, we are all children of God. Yes, we are. I am. God created me in the light and the love and the glory. We have put the sand back in San Francisco. San Francisco. Here you'll find, through the gift and the help of St. Francis, here you'll find your heart in San Francisco. Here you'll find your heart in San Francisco. Walk in beauty now that we have found our truth through the beauty and joy of St. Francis, the ecological Moses of the environmental age. We have reclaimed and restored mirth on earth and joy in the morning, and we walk in beauty in our heart song. Grateful gratitude to Saint Francis, whose name is San Francisco. So we have put the sand back in San Francisco, and now we walk in beauty. So gratitude to Saint Francis. When we think of Saint Francis, there is a female component. Again, I mentioned that Francis was one of the first having a female spirituality in his male mystery, because he loved nature and he restored mirth on earth through his bird song. He communicated and communed with birds. He had Holy Communion in the morning with birds. Bird song. He communed with birds. That was his Holy Communion. That's okay. We can do that. I invite each one of you to have a morning bird song reverie. A morning song where you go and spend a half an hour in the morning. No more, no less. Half an hour. Get up early if you have to. Spend that half an hour in the morning in nature. And restore the serotonin in your own immune system. Because being in nature restores serotonin and it brings happiness. Dopamine brings pleasure and it's short-lived. But serotonin, that deep nature elixir, breathing in, is long-lasting and it brings happiness. Not pleasure, it brings happiness. So do your early morning reverie, communion with birds. Think of Saint Francis and the Zen birds of fire. Zen birds of fire are really the heart song of morning. There's a lot you can do, and that's up to you through using your intuition and your divine feminine aspects of your inheritance. And restoring mirth on earth to its natural place. For it is a spiritual duty to appreciate the beauty every day. It is a spiritual duty to appreciate the beauty every day. And that's a GreenFire Day. And so we will revisit this composition written this very day for and through and of St. Francis. And we wish you well in this GreenFire Day. Put the sand back in San Francisco. Great blue sky. It's 91 degrees. It's October 3rd. The wind is out of the south at 40 knots. Steady 40 knots. Not enough to blow your mind, but a Scirocco wind just the same. Across the heartland prairie, clouds are glue-googly, some striated long lines, some puffy-headed meddling, and moseying nowhere in particular. Mostly high, some white marbly sky, not enough to deny the Ancient of Days. And we get a hold of this and steer it thus far across vast Indian upper Midwest sea. With enthusiasm we sing, "It is well, it is well. It is well in my soul. Some kind of ecstasy's got a hold on me, and I wonder where the lions are. And I wonder where the lions are. And I wonder where the lions are." And St. Francis walks into Echozoic with his love for birds and his amore rabia. He walks into, sits right down, and begins the environmental age. With his love and rage And the whole thing is ecstasy, with his divinized mind of the loving kind. As he is rapt with this ecstasy, with this he follows his bliss and colors his age, stepping out of the black and white, the king and the night, and all things futile he puts under his feet and into an empty grave and stomps on it. As it was sent from and came from the pit, this separation of man from nature and the whole original sin nomenclature and the whole ecclesiastical church and its guilt, shame, and sin, its inquisition against women and the Celts and the Wiccans, and war against nature, instilling hate in little kids at an early age, against beauty, a war against beauty, a campaign to defile beauty in every ecosystem, in every watershed, in every airstream, in every sacred soil, in every bioregion, in every biosphere across planet Earth, through colonization, then capitalization, then quantification, then commoditization of all the 4,000 languages, of all the races and all the peoples on all the continents of Mother Earth, the total worldwide lobotomy, insanity in this war against nature, this original sin against earth. St. Francis is a global insurrection through fierce, ruthless, unconditional love and rage and overthrow of all of that. It's time to reflect in our pool of nature upon that. The mind, through compassion of the cessation of suffering of all sentient beings, is great blue sky, now and here be. Francis is a great worldwide revolution against patriarchy and capitalism and property in the money class. Francis is blowing the Jericho walls down in an epistrophe of epiphanies beyond the parentheses and cacophony. He is a burning flame inside the green fire, outside the walls of empire. And Francis is watching the whole shithouse go up in flames so we can see the autumnal equinox, harvest, full moon rise. And yes, this is truly joy in the morning. Through this epiphany is joy of the journey, and I wonder where the lions are in this divinized starry night of holy delight. And Francis and his beatific vision with Clare of Assisi set the mountain huts ablaze with seraphic fire in the high Alps near Assisi, 50 miles away into the deep alpine medieval night sky. Francis helped restore mirth on earth and deep peace of the moon and stars to you through brother sun and sister moon. His paintings are in the heart song, in deep ecologoi nature, in frescoes, murals, and alleluias. It's time now to put the sand back in San Francisco, become holy modal bounders, earth firsters, do a circle peace walk around San Francisco, beginning at the Cliff House on Easter Sunday sunrise as a ceremony of your own heart song, singing the beauty way. I am, God created me in the light and the love and the glory. Welcome home. Here, 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 you'll find your heart in San Francisco. Walk in beauty and walk in the beauty of the joy in the morning of St. Francis. May you have beautiful blessings on this holy good week. May the green fire touch the good heart of you and all your loved ones. Peace.